Do you remember the feeling of dropping into Tilted Towers for the very first time? The chaos of Pleasant Park, or maybe you're the type to land at Moisty Myers, far from the action just to survive for a little bit longer. Let's be real for a moment. Nostalgia is a very powerful thing. It can make us yearn for the good old days when games felt simpler and more fun. But Fortnite has evolved and so has its player base. The memories we hold of the Fortnite's OG map, Season 1 through Season 3 are often tied to a time when everyone was figuring out the game together. No one knew the perfect drop spot, how to crank 90s, or the precise damage range of every weapon.
Last slot. You can get out of these trees here. AR in the middle and then start juicing my first slot. Like it was scuffed. Like the rest of them. Look at that tree fall. Does this even count as a win if I win? Like, it does. Considering your boy's not really done a lot. No, mate. Don't take that away from you.
Game felt fresh and chaotic. Wins weren't guaranteed. They were hard-fought battles that came from a strategy, luck, and a bit of skills. But if the OG map were to return today, things were gonna be a very big difference.
See some 90s, dude? I'm sorry. Show us the 90s! Dude, you want to see some 90s, dude?
Enter the Sweats. You know who I'm talking about. The players who could build a 5-star hotel in seconds, edit through walls faster than you could blink, and hit a 200 pump headshot as if they have aimbot. These are the players who spent thousands of hours mastering Fortnite and they're not going anywhere. Back in the day, most Fortnite players are casuals. Sure, there were skilled players even then, but the skill gap was much smaller. Fast forward to today, Fortnite has a hyper-competitive player base. The OG map doesn't change that. If anything, it makes it worse. If you were to ask OG players why they miss OG Fortnite, you will usually say, I love OG Fortnite because it was simple. You didn't have crazy mechanics or overpowered weapons. It was all about exploring and having fun. Or another response would be, it felt balanced. Everyone was on the same playing field back then and no one knew how to build properly, so fights were more even. Here's the thing, OG Fortnite represents a feeling, a time when Fortnite felt new and exciting, but bringing back the time in gaming history as a Gable doesn't bring back that era. It's like trying to relive your childhood by visiting your old school. It's just not the same when you're older and the world around you has changed. If the OG map were to return, you'd still be playing against the same player base as this day. That means Sweats will know exactly where to land and how to optimize their loot path and how to outbuild and outgun you every fight. Remember when landing at Tilted Towers was a fun challenge? But now imagine Tilted, but instead of the casual chaos, it was a sweat fest. Every chest, every building, every corner becomes a high-skill battleground. The map might look familiar, but the way it plays will be completely different. One of the biggest arguments for bringing back the OG map is that it was simpler. But here's the catch, the simplicity of the map doesn't align with the complexity of the modern player base. Players have adapted to the advanced mechanics from editing to movement exploits. If you strip away the fancy weapons and mechanics, the skill gap still remains. No matter how nostalgic the map feels, it won't make Fortnite any less sweaty.
Alright, pre-fire. 3, 2, 1.
Also, when they bring back OG Fortnite, not only the map needs to come back, but all the other good things will also come back, like the OG loophole. It might feel simpler, which people are looking forward to, but it could also be bad. The OG sound will also be back in the ambience too. But the thing that will also be back is the OG movements. Rotations will feel slow and the player base will almost guarantee hate this. Epic knew this and that is why they did not add back the old movements without sprinting. But still, movement vehicles are not back and players will not be used to this. There are also no movement items and this is a big change. This mostly impacts from sweaty players who values more kills and faster gameplay. The casuals might not mind as much but they will still feel it, so Fortnite has an ultimatum. Either completely remove new gen movement stuff and the OG players will have less sweats, or let the new gen movement stay in some way like the movement mechanics, but some sweaty players will leak through and ruin the experience of the old heads who are coming back. This is a lose-lose situation that Epic is in and there is no right answer that will make everyone happy. But there is a wrong answer that will piss a group off. Epic Games knows that Fortnite feeds off itself. They experienced bringing back old events before like old weapons or OTMs. They even brought back maps before like how they brought Chapter 1 back for a month in the Chapter 2 map. But the map they brought back had plenty of rotation items and movement vehicles. So the success of the new OG game mode will be depending on how they respond to future seasons. Here's what I think they need to do for the game mode to stay as popular as it is right now. Keep the reboot vans in. Shields is so hard to find in season 1 and dying is so easy. That's why reboot vans are basically needed for you to stay alive. Also, Epic needs to buff shield spawn rates. This is a small change that will not ruin the OG experience. Also bring back bots into OG Fortnite. Right now there is no bot lobbies or just normal bots in your lobbies. So every player you go against are actually skilled players, and of course there is no skill based matchmaking. So you could be new to a game going against Pure Bot or Faded Pigeon 47. I do not think the sprinting movement mechanic should be removed, as the player base responded positively to that. Fortnite player base is split into two major groups: casual players who just want to have fun, and competitive players who treat every match like it's a World Cup finals. The OG map appeals mostly to casuals, but they will be the one who suffers the most if sweats dominate every lobby. Without proper balancing, the return of the OG map will alienate the very players it was meant to excite. So what's the final opinion? Fortnite's OG game mode will most likely flop. It is clear that Fortnite is trying to recapture the same success like they did at the start of the game, more accurately the launch of Reload. But there are just too much sweats in game, and Epic cannot appeal to both player bases. So I think Fortnite should just value the casuals' opinion on this. Why? Well, it is like Minecraft trying to appeal to the boomers more than they are to the new zoomers who are taking over. But who I think has the most control over the success of this game mode is not Epic but the players themselves. They have to stop hoping for a trip down memory lane of them dominating the lobby, but instead start appreciating the game for how it is and enjoy it to the best of their capabilities. At the end of the day, Fortnite has changed and so have we. The OG part of the game will always be a part of the game's history, and every day we could go back in time. Nostalgia might bring us back, but our hopes and dreams will ground us into reality, not the sweats. Fortnite OG is more than just a collection of locations. It's a memory, a feeling of discovery and chaos and fun. But we can't forget that Fortnite is a living game. It evolves and so does its players. The past can be revisited, but it can never truly be recreated. So are you ready to face the OG map again? Just remember, the sweats are already waiting.